All praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to Allah Akim doing and pushing this word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. Now I want to get into this real quick. Work, this is what we got to do, in our walk here, okay? In our lives, we do have to work too as well, We got to provide for our family. That's what I said. If you don't work, you don't eat. No cheerleading, okay? So the same thing when it comes to salvation and what the Lord has applied for us to do, okay? Giving us instruction to do. So I want to go into this scripture real quick. Real quick, Salakia. This is Timothy 5:8, okay? But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel, okay? So even in this life, right, and it goes manifold, the scripture, right? Because we got to be out there feeding the sheep, and that's a part of our work. But for your family, okay, and for you as a man in this world, you should be working because you have to pay bills. You got to provide food for the youngins. You got to put that meat, bread, butter on the table, as they say, right? And the same thing goes for this truth. The Lord has given us a supply of faith, measurements, right? Faith and whatnot, understanding. So what we should be doing is, as it says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, which we're going to go into next, right? Actually, you know what? Let's get there real quick. We're not supposed to be standing around gawking. We're supposed to be actually putting this to use, right? So as the same thing, a young man out there, you're supposed to be working. You're supposed to be providing for your family, okay? So in this truth, right now, what are we doing? We're feeding the flock. Just like Yahushua said, he said, feed the flock, feed the flock, feed the flock, okay? Let's go into Philippians chapter 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Work out your own salvation. So this ain't no buddy system. This ain't no cheerleading thing. You know what I mean? We actually put the knowledge, the wisdom that Yahweh Shem Yahushai has installed in us to use, okay? Because the Lord said to store up your treasures in heaven, okay? Where men don't break in and steal. So if a man here is walking around, he don't eat, he don't work, he's not going to eat, okay? Like, let's say, everybody got their own thing, and, people, they do their thing. This guy, he doesn't got no family, he don't got nobody, like, you know what I'm saying? And where he is a harsh place. People don't help each other like that and shit. Nigga, you will die. Especially if it's in a cold country, you will die, okay? Ain't no handouts here, ain't no government slicing checks and shit like that. You gotta actually get up and go work. Look, back in the day, before all this government and stuff came into place, and you had rural villages and all this stuff, right? You were brought into this world. You could have been in Idaho of Idaho. You get what I'm trying to say? Off the map, what they say. Back country. And you were brought up there. Parents got sick, they died. You know what I'm saying? Now you're left with the farm, with all the provisions, for the rest of the family and shit like that. You gotta work. If you don't work, guess what? That whole family dying. Everybody getting sick, they dying. Peradventure, they leave, but or peradventure, they get out of there and save themselves and leave. But if not, you're dead, okay? You will die, okay? This is why the Lord said that he set up, going back into working out your own salvation with fear and trembling, he set up watchmen out there. Isaiah chapter 62 and verse 6, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, Slakia, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. He that make mention of Yahweh, keep not silent, and giving no rest till he establish, and till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. And this is what we're doing, week in, week out, month, day in and day out, night to day. You know what I mean? Because the Lord gave us a task at hand. You know, he gave us the information, right? We know what's up. These people in the world, they don't know what's up. And we can see with these different Israelite groups, they don't have the truth. Okay, the scriptures tell you, if they teach not according to this law and to this testimony, there is no light in them. Isaiah 8:20, right? So we have the law, we have the testimony. So the Lord said, go out there and work. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. If you don't work, then guess what? Game over. Like a body, yep, just like a body without. James 2:17, even so faith, if it have not works, is dead, being alone. Okay? So you gotta put this to action. You gotta put your faith to action. You can't be sitting on the sideline there, cheerleading on YouTube. Yeah, you know, great gravy. You know, putting up as many scriptures as you want, but look, listen, you gotta put it into action. You know, the Lord is requiring you to go out there and feed the flock, feed the sheep, right? So you gotta put this into motion. You can't be stagnant with it, because the Lord will come and remove his candle, or remove your light, remove your candlestick, and then you walking back in the world like the rest of these goofies, crazies, right? So verse 20, but wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Okay? You got to put it to use. You got to be out there on the highways and byways. You got to, you know, like they say, if you sitting down, you better put it to use, or you going to, you know, end up going to the fucking hospital or some shit. Okay? You know, if you're an athlete and all this stuff, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sit down for 6 months, like relax mode, right? And see how your body feels when you actually try to go put it to use, you know? Jump back into the circle of things, as they would say. Like if you're a track and field, you run track, and you got that summertime, you know, from university perspective, you got that summertime chill zone. They always want you to come in, you know, every week or so to do basic, you know, fitness training to keep you, you know what I mean, still able. But as soon as you want to relax and chill out and vacation and drinking the Coronas on the beach, that's it, you know? So you got to put it to work, or that's it. That'll be the death of that, right? James chapter 2 and verse 26, for as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead. Okay? So you got to put it to use. If you don't put it to use, that's it. You know what I mean? So everybody in this truth that you see on the highways and byways that has the 100% truth, okay, I must say, they heard the word. That's why Romans chapter 10 and 17 says what it says, that faith cometh by hearing, right? And by hearing the words of God. They drank the milk as babes, as newborn babes, designed to sincere milk thereof, that you may grow thereby, or whatever. Salakia, roughly phrasing. And then you start to, you know, get on a level where you can walk around, where you can start talking, where you can start conversating. This is the Lord making you to grow, okay? Because a baby don't understand everything right away. It knows it's fucking hungry and it wants food, right? But through the years, it starts to grow, starts to get educated, and becomes a full-grown adult. You understand? So that's how it's supposed to be in this truth. You come in, little by little, here it is, you're being fed, you grow, you put it to use. Eventually, you go to a camp, or you get yourself out there on the highways and byways and start putting in work. And work is not just that. In our everyday life, we put these scriptures to use, okay? Like, what do you think? Just camp, we're going to talk about adultery, but then go commit adultery? No. So we put it to use in our life, okay? It has to be active, right? Fully active, them say, right? So let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 6 and 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways, and be wise, which have no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of hands. A folding of the hands to sleep. Okay? So, you got to look, you see how the ant, moves in that particular way. They work hard. Okay? And it's all for the colony. This is the same thing why Yahushua said, feed my lamb, feed my sheep. Okay? He said it 3 times. So, us having this truth and knowing the way, we have to feed and provide for the flock, okay? Because the elect is still out there, and they got to hear this word. You understand? And Lord will, like I always say, Lord will I be of that number. You know what I mean? Because this is very serious. And if you have it, why not put it to use? Don't be a sluggard. Look at nature, right? Look at all these birds and all these things swim around in the summertime and do their work. Gather up now. While the weather is right, gather up now. Don't go partying. Don't go to the beach for your corona, right? Do your work. Because in his time, he's going to give you your reward. As it tells you in, seeking B times. And in his time, he'll give you your reward. Sirach chapter 51 and verse 30. Work your work B times. Hasty right now. Okay? And in his time, he will give you your reward. Okay? And that's what we're all looking for. We're looking for that reward. Okay? So let's go to Matthew chapter 25, last scripture here. 25 and 14, 26. Let's start right here. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country who called his own servant and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that had received 2 had also gained another 2. But he that had received 1 went and dug in the earth and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained besides them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many, many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents besides them. His Lord said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sow not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest, Slakia, therefore to have put my money to exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which have 10 talents. See? So, you don't want to be a wicked and unprofitable servant. The Lord gave you work to do. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Okay? We got to be out here, gathering up onto the Lord. Okay? So continuing, for everyone that have shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away even that which he have, and cast ye the unprofitable servant into utter darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay, so you know what's gonna happen when that when that happens. That's dealing with nuclear fire. Okay, you're an unprofitable servant. Go back with the world. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want that to happen. You don't want to fall back into the world, man. Okay, because right there, that's the end of you. Okay, bottom line. So hey, the Lord gave us work to do. If you don't work, you don't eat. No cheerleading. It's much same with this truth. Okay, so with that, all praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim doing and pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. I hope you're edified. Lord willing, to the next time. Wach abad babal. Shalom Akim.